All right, Shalom. This is Power Thumb of the Great Millstone Houston Camp, back with another lesson to edify the elect of the nation of Israel. So before I begin, as always, giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushua, Ba'asham, Rachakwadash, double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of the Great Millstone that rule well. Also to the elder high priest that taught my apostles and elders. Peace, blessing, and salutation unto the elect of the nation of Israel, which consists of us so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and all Israelites scattered abroad, who will receive this truth and endure the truth unto the end. Same should be saved by Lord Yahushua when he returns during World War III to destroy the elect. To deliver the elect and to destroy our enemies, which our enemies are you Edomites, starting with the elite all the way to the bottom, which are you so-called white people. I want to start here in Job chapter 4 and verse 7, and it reads, "Remember, I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent, or where were the righteous cut off? Even as I have seen, they that plow iniquity and sow wickedness reap the same." So who has ever perished being innocent? We know that any person on this earth that is unalive, that perishes, isn't innocent, right? Because we all, as men, break the law, statutes, and commandments. All right, no one is perfect. So the Most High Yahweh and His Son Yahushua justified in taking their spirit back to the spirit world and leaving your body where it's supposed to go, which is in the ground. All right, so let's get this next precept. This is Psalms chapter 68 and verse 20. He that is our power is the God of salvation, and unto Yahweh the Lord belong the issues from death. So who has the say so if an individual lives or dies? Is Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushua. All right, as the scripture says, all power has been given unto me from my Father. So right now, Yahushua is acting on the behalf of Yahweh, whom the word inwardly called God and Jesus Christ. Okay, so this whole situation that just occurred on July the 4th with Nolan Wells, all right, the Most High called his spirit back to the spirit world by the hand of these Edomites. All right, they allegedly didn't do it, or they don't know what happened, or whatever the case is, but he went out on a boat trip with his buddies and didn't come back. If you can go look it up, who his buddies were and who he was. Clearly he was an Israelite, and clearly, all right, which, I don't know their spirits. They look like Edomites. Very well could have been Edomites, because that is the very look of the Edomites, all right? But not just because, we know this. Just because you look like an Edomite don't make you an Edomite, because your nationality depends on the seed of your father, right? But we've been telling our people, Sirach chapter 12 and verse 10. Now, yeah, it is. We understand the corner perspective is messed up. Another Jake gets around these Edomites and mysteriously ends up dead, right? And these Edomites, they're going to pay for everything that they did, but where's the responsibility on the behalf of our own people that go around these Edomites and think that they're your friend, when they show you time and time again that they think they're better than you, they're more superior than you, that you're beneath them, and you're nothing but monkeys and coons, right? Uncle Tomahawks and wetbacks. This is Sirach chapter 12 and verse 10. Never trust thine enemy. Never, for any reason. All right, they may be friendly. All right, you might like being around them because they under the curses like we are. So they be happy and shit. They women, they be happy and shit. But you gotta, as the scripture says, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself, which I came up in a predominantly white school, right? We had, let's see, about so-called blacks. It was what? About 5 of us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1 so-called Mexican, and the rest was so-called white boys and girls. Well, the rest was so-called white boys. So it was about what, 25 white boys, right? Or 20 white boys. So predominantly white, right? And they, as the world say, everybody want to be a Jake, but don't nobody want to be a nigga. All right? So they love Jake's spirit. You know, you're good at sports, we're entertaining, right? But behind closed doors, they talk down on you. In front of you, they act like your friend. They humble themselves, right? They know Jake can fight. Jake is more gifted than them. They'll kick their ass, right? So they humble themselves like a real devil, like a real snake. As the scripture says, that they was the most cunning beast in the field. They're going to be cunning, all right? They're going to invite you to sleepovers and to go out in the town with them. But though he humbled himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. This is what the scriptures have taught us, to beware of these Edomites. All right, these other nations too, and our people too, but mainly these Edomites. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust had not been altogether wiped away. And that's what we see with this situation. We're seeing that Esau rust, which is likened unto his wickedness, is not altogether wiped away. Come to find out, they wasn't his friends. All right, nobody knows what happens. It's just a friend would come out and tell the truth to protect his own friend and their family, to give his family comfort, peace of mind. But nobody knows what happens, right? Of course, it says, verse 12, set him not by thee, which in the pictures, he right beside the guys. When he had overthrown thee, he stand up in our place. Now, I don't know if they had any ulterior motives. They probably had a white girl that, one of them wanted. I don't tell him. I've been through that. Right? Got a white girl. The other white boys wanted her. And they used to talk about me to her like she wasn't going to come tell me. Right? It says, and thou shalt know that his rust had not been altogether wiped away. So, set him not by thee, lest when he had overthrown thee, he stand up in our place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat, and thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith. Who will pity a trauma that is bitten with a serpent? And this Noel, he got bit by the serpent, or any such as come now wild beast. So one that goeth to a sinner, which Esau is, the wicked that the Bible speaks of, and the scriptures also call him the man of sin, and is defiled with him in his sins, who will pity? All right, so ultimately, for you Jakes that's out there and you love the so-called white man system and you love the so-called white man in his ways, we don't pity, and the Lord don't pity you Jakes, because you're not taking heed through faith what the message of the prophets are given. Never would I, and the scriptures taught me this, go with a bunch of Edomites by myself. I was invited, Salakia, I was invited to a bonfire by my old classmates, right? I had came into the truth at this point, and he was like, hey man, take my